the Broadly Entertaining Podcast. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, go with what moves you.
It's the Broadly Entertaining Podcast for all you fembroads, them broads, and dude broads out there. Have y'all started planning for your holiday hangs or your parties yet?
We've got fun, games, and feminism coming at you. Thanks for letting us entertain you. Let's party!
Hello, friends! I am Giana, and I misunderstood the assignment.
I am Jamie, and I am ready for the holiday hustle. Giana, thank you for being a friend.
Travel down the road and back again?
Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant.
And if you threw a party, invited everyone you knew, you would see I probably forgot to get you a gift.
As we're both not actually gift givers.
Yeah.
So that we can drop that line off. But that song is forever a classic. Thank you for taking that ride with me. Thank you.
Anytime.
Yeah. Seriously though, 'tis the season for gratitude and reflection.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate you. Aww. And I am so grateful for what we have been able to do and build together, even or especially as we are not the most conventional of CEOs.
No, dude. No, we are not. That is accurate. All of what you just said was accurate. But I think that we should take a minute and share some things that we're both thankful for. I like that vibe.
Oh yeah, let's do it. I sort of started, so you go now.
Okay. We just closed out October, which happened to be a very, very busy month for me socially and business-wise. We were finishing out the wedding season. I called my first parade, which was awesome, but also I'll admit, that not super good at it, but it was my first time. But parades are fun and hard. And
yeah, I don't think you become an expert at calling a parade just from doing it once.
No, definitely not. But there's always room for improvement, and boy, do I have room for improvement in that sector. But it was like great, fun, loving stuff. I had you here. We had our friend Nova here. I had so many guests, people that I never thought I would see again, and people that I very possibly won't see again for a very long time. And so it was just, I'm really thankful for all the love that people are showing and coming out to this cabin in the woods and like in the middle of nowhere seemingly, and just like taking the adventure and hanging out with us up here. Like if we didn't, as my buddy Todd Perlmutter said, we would be awfully sad if people didn't want to come visit us. So that is so true. I'm really thankful for everyone. But now that our last guest has left, since the beginning of October, I am also very thankful to have my house back with my husband. I fed the chickens in a robe, not wearing anything underneath it. I was just naked. And it was like beautiful out. It's warm for the first time in a while. And I was just, it was great. Anyway, so I'm thankful for both.
Yeah, absolutely. I am thankful for side hustles.
Ooh.
So as a small business, one of the first kind of hot tips you get from everyone who is an expert on small business things tells you that you need to be prepared to not pay yourself as the owner of a business for several years, potentially. We've been in business for several years and we've been able to pay ourselves for most of it, which is great. And I am very thankful for that. Currently, we're in a transition period. We have been through some transitions before, so feel pretty confident that we will come out of this one all right. But for the first time in a few years, I really feel pressed to look for something outside of Broadly Entertaining. And I have not yet applied for a table waiting job, but I have definitely considered it when I'm up late at night. But I put together a writing resume and I updated my personal website, and I am sort of putting feelers out into the world to bring some extra cash in while continuing to allow me to do this amazing broadly entertaining work that we do and that we are so lucky and that I'm very grateful to have been able to do.
Yeah. Here to that, and thankful for our past lives in creating a way to know how to side hustle. Like
Mm,
I did nothing but hustle for many years, and this, um, yeah, knowing how to gig and network and just sell yourself for like what you want to do in bits and pieces and work on how making your life your schedule, all of those
mm.
skills. Like I'm glad we picked them up when we did.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so we've been in business for 5 years, and I also think it's kind of interesting to note that within those 5 years, two or three of them have been during a pandemic where entertainment and events have been real wonky, and we have had to shift into, I think, sort of morph into three different. I said this earlier, maybe this wasn't quite right, but like morph into three different sort of phases of our business. Like we had our bar phase where we were just hitting the bar scene and doing that, and our private events and fundraising and all that stuff, and then weddings was, even though all of these were a common thread, it still has been
Mm-hmm.
three major shifts during a
Mm-hmm.
major global shift, which
Yeah,
is interesting.
virtual events was definitely not on our list of when we started this business, and we were like, well, we can do weddings and we can do game nights and then we can do our own
Mhm.
events. All of those seeds existed,
Yeah.
but we never thought that we were gonna have a Zoom account and like that was just
Yeah,
not
yeah.
not
Right.
on the list. So
Yeah.
grateful for being able to be flexible.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Grateful for that indeed.
Mhm.
But yeah, so we've been in business 5 years, but you and I have known each other for 11 years. And while there's a lot that we do know about each other, I'm sure that there is still a lot yet to be known, about each other. And I think that we should play a little game called Two Truths and a Lie to put ourselves to the test.
Ooh, I accept. Is that a challenge?
It
I
is a
accept it.
challenge!
I accept it. I love two truths and a lie. It's fun
Yeah.
as an icebreaker when you're just meeting new people, and it's fun to play with people that you have known for almost 12 years now,
Oh.
and see how much we actually know about each other or don't know, and learn new things.
Yeah.
Yay. Uh,
Um, yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, luckily, I walk around with two truths and a lie in my back pocket, just in case, anyone ever challenges me to the game.
Oh, great. Perfect. That is perfect. So you wouldn't mind going first then, since you're
Oh
prepared.
no, I am uber prepared. All right, here we go.
Okay. All right.
Here we go. So my three facts, I put them in air quotes, are: I have no notable allergies. That's fact number one. I broke my first bone as a teenager. That's fact number two. And I have had two migraines in my lifetime. That's fact number three. I kept them all in a sort of medical,
I
physiological arena.
I did the same thing, not medical, but I did the same thing. I kept them all in one arena.
Hmm.
Okay. Fact one,
I have no notable allergies.
allergies, broken bone in high school. First broken bone was in high
Yeah,
school
as a teenager.
as a teenager. And
And I have had two migraines in my lifetime.
I'm going to take that one out. I feel like maybe you've had more. Oh, maybe that is the truth. And that's all they've been, but it's just they were gnarly. I know I know you got a bum elbow. I know that. But I feel like that's the only broken bone story I know. And I think that you were in your 20s when that happened. Mm. Mm.
I'm trying
And
to keep the
I
straightest
know, I
of
bet
face
you
on
are.
this.
And I don't think I've ever heard you talk about allergies. I'm going to go with allergies. Is the
Is the
truth.
lie? Oh, it's two truths and a lie is the game, Gianna. Two
Oh
truths
shit.
and a lie. Do you have two lies and a truth prepared?
I do.
All right, well, that's fine as long as I know that.
I have
That's the
two
rule
lies and
for
a truth.
you. But I have two truths and a
Flexibility.
lie.
This is flexibility. So sorry.
100%.
So okay, but okay, so I think that is one of the truths, and then I think the other truth is, oh man, this is tough. The broken bone is the other truth. No, that's a lie. Sorry. The broken bone is a lie, and the other one is the truth. Sorry.
Are we settled on that?
Yes.
All right. You got it.
Yay!
Got it. Yes.
Yes.
I have broken a few bones. Only in my 20s. All in my 20s. I broke
Okay.
a toe, I broke a rib, I broke an elbow. In
Okay.
that order.
Okay. Remembered the elbow. And there was a tinkle in my head about a toe, but then I was like, everyone's broken a toe.
There was a
Um,
tinkle about a toe.
yeah, in my memory brain.
Okay. Okay, so now we have your two lies and a truth.
Yep. I have two lies and a truth.
Okay.
I never took a drama class in high school. I was a background extra in the movie Kingpin in the 3rd grade. I only performed in musicals until I went to college.
Well, I feel like only performing in musicals before college and never taking a drama class in high school could not, like, there's something about them that has to exist in the same universe, that like either they both have to be true or they both have to be false, which may not be true because you could take in a drama class and still only performed in musicals. The timeline for Kingpin that you specify 3rd grade, like that is it's a detail, it's a specificity that makes me think that that one is true. Also, I don't think I've ever seen that movie, but if I remember correctly, it has something to do. There were Mormons, and I know there were Mormons in Nevada. Is that is that accurate? I am going to just go with my gut here and say that you were an extra in Kingpin, and that somehow I have never heard this fact.
Do you want to do all of them first, or do you want me to tell you one by one as you guess them what it was? So you think that the background extra is the truth, and the other
Yes,
two are lies.
and the other two
Okay.
are
Oh, I
lies.
see. Sorry.
Yeah.
Right.
I was like, what
Right.
else am I supposed to do?
Okay, so I only performed in musicals until I went to college is indeed a lie. Good job. But that the very second thing I ever was in Inherit the Wind, and I got to eat a bunch of hot dogs, and it was still to this day like the best gig I've ever had.
Interesting.
But it was a
Interesting.
long time. I've done very few plays, straight plays. It was mostly musicals. Um, but unfortunately, I was not in Kingpin.
Oh.
My sister's best friend was an extra in Kingpin at the bowling alley,
Oh.
and she actually didn't make the final cut. But I took a truth from her and made it my lie, and then the truth is I never did take a drama class in high school. I did a lot of community theater. I was always in something. I was always in a production of some kind,
Mm.
back to back to back to back, and so was my dad. But I was just always in the theater, community theater. So I never, in my head at the time, I was like, why would I waste an elective during the day on a theater thing when I go to rehearsal after school every day all the
Mm.
time? I'm
Mm.
getting my theater in community theater. And so I was able to take auto and speech and debate and all these and public speaking and all these other electives that I wouldn't have had the space for if I had taken
Mm.
drama. However, I did audition to be in the advanced drama class thinking, hey, all of my friends are in this class. They all convinced me that I should be in this class and that there's no reason I am not at the same level that they are with the experience that I had. And I crushed that audition. I crushed it. I did a monologue that was twin men and I like fucking did this. I was so good. I fucking crushed it. I fucking crushed it. And he didn't let me in. And so I was like, fuck
Mm.
this. Fuck
Bureaucracy,
this.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
May
hear ya.
Mr. McBride rest in peace.
Aw.
He
Nah,
was
we
great.
all
He was
die.
in the community theater though. He knew. He
Oh.
knew.
Well, I can neither defend nor
You're right.
prosecute the man. But you got me with the nuance. Look
Thank
at
you.
you. Tricky.
Yeah.
With your two lies and a truth.
Up next, a word from our sponsor, Broadly Entertaining's 5th anniversary discount offer. Broadly Entertaining turns 5 this year, and we want to celebrate with you, no matter where you are.
In honor of this milestone, we're offering 5% off every virtual event for the rest of 2022. Use code B5, that's B E and the number 5 to save on your next booking today.
Choose from a list of uniquely fun games and workshop options, perfect for everything from company team building to Nana's 90th. We plan and customize everything so you can party and connect with your crew.
When Broadly Entertaining started 5 years ago, we had no idea we'd have to get great at planning and hosting virtual events. Now you can hire us from anywhere and join the dozens of happy customers leaving 5-star reviews.
Contact Broadly Entertaining today with the code B5, that's BE and the number 5, to save on your next virtual booking today. We're back and ready to celebrate admirable and impressive women in our Be a Feminist shout out. Whatever, man. Fuck it. I'm gonna kick it off this month because I got a little pissed off when I was doing my research for a Be a Feminist thing, and I, as you know, am a fan of TikTok, and so I was like, oh, this might be cool. I can give folks just like a list of content creators because I have a great list of content creators on my FYP, and I am always getting great content. So I figured somebody must have made a feminist list of TikTok creators, and so I googled feminist TikTokers. And it was such a bummer. The first thing that came up is TikTok.com. It's their discover section. And when you go to it, the first video on top is this young lady talking about Andrew Tate and comparing Andrew Tate inciting violence in men being just as bad as women on this app saying that we should kill all men and inciting violence, that it's just as bad. She's trying to draw parallels that don't exist basically.
Sure,
And
with zero proof of anyone ever having
no,
said that.
yeah, and it's actually not a very good video, and it's just really dumb. But like all these but she hashtags feminist, feminism, lefty, right
Mm.
wing, Tate, and all of those fucking pieces of shit, anti woke, truth speaker, fucking idiot is what it is. But that's the first video. First video. And then the second one is the female lead, and I know this at Claire_training. She's great, like funny videos, but it's not super great from there. And I was just kind of bummed that that's how that came about. And I was like, well, maybe it's the word feminist. It's a buzzword. So I chose women of TikTok, seeing that maybe somebody has created a list of great women TikTok creators.
Mm.
But the first 3 videos that come up on the search are top 21 women of TikTok who expose themselves as thoughts, which is basic.
Mm.
You could look it up what it means. Jamie and I had to look it up earlier, but it's not nice.
We're
Um,
old.
but also, like, if they want to expose themselves, whatever, that's fine. I don't give a shit. Like, do
Mm-hmm.
whatever you want. That's not the issue I'm trying to take up. So let me clarify and make sure that you know I don't give a shit how people live their sex lives or how they talk about it. I think it's great. However, that just being the first thing is like, all right, a little sensationalized much. And
Mm.
then the next one, 22 hot women on TikTok destroying feminism.
Oh
Top
God.
22 hot right wing women on TikTok. And it's like, wow, what? And I'm on the Broadly Entertaining Google Chrome browser, and I find that very interesting. So I got fucking
Yeah.
pissed off. I
We
I
do
got
need
pissed.
your list. We
Yeah,
need that list.
thank you. So I maybe I should make a list and just be really thoughtful about it. And I will. Maybe I fucking will, because that is annoying. So I was texting with my sister, and she just told me that she's starting yet another new job today. And I thought that's a better way to go. My sister, she's Kathleen DeGeiso, and she started as a nurse. She went to nursing school when I was a senior in high school. I remember coming home from school and watching her firstborn, and she would practice drawing blood on me. I was a lot more fearless then. Now I'm like, I can't look. I'm such a I'm such a different patient now. But she has been in it since 2004, and she's worked her way up the chain, and in the past 5 to 7 years especially, and now she's the system director of surgical services for Northern Nevada Health System, and that is basically everywhere north of Las Vegas. And for
Wow.
friends who don't know, Las Vegas is all the way on the southern part of the state, and Reno is all the way in the northern part of the state, right when it does that little angled turn with
Mm-hmm.
California. Anyway, she's basically in charge of everything north of Las Vegas, which is the whole fucking state,
Wow.
basically.
Yeah.
So I'm just so proud of my sister, and I wanted to. Sorry, I did a twofer on my Be a Feminist, but I just wanted to do that. Anyway, go Cat.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of you.
Yeah. Go Cat. Absolutely. And there's a good twofer.
Yeah.
Celebrate Cat. Absolutely. Well done. Congratulations. Crushing it. Totally agree. Good to have smart, caring, confident, capable people in the healthcare system. And
Compassionate.
I look absolutely more C words.
Yeah.
Yes. And I look forward to your list of TikTok creators that people should be following. So
Yeah.
don't apologize. You gave yourself extra work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So how about
So
you, Jamie?
yeah, I don't have a great segue into this, and I don't think I would, regardless of what your Be a Feminist segment was. But mine is about the clitoris. Yay!
Yay!
I was reading a couple weeks ago about how little is known, how little is studied, and how little is taught in med school about the clitoris. Like, it is just sort of, it has continued to be this like mysterious part of the body of half the people in the world that is known for having one purpose, and that purpose is pleasure. And of course, the sexual pleasure of women and anyone who's not a cis man is not really taken into account by our our American culture, perhaps the Western world at large. But I'm just going to speak to our nation. I'm speaking to our nation about the clitoris. And, you may have heard this quote unquote fun fact that the clitoris has 8,000 nerve endings, which is twice as much as the penis. Turns out we didn't actually know if that was true until very recently. There's a study that came out. It still needs to be peer reviewed, but it points toward a number much closer to 10,000 nerve fibers being concentrated in the clitoris in something as small as the clitoris. And for comparison, the hand has about 18,000 nerve fibers, is how many times bigger than the clitoris, and it has not even double the amount of nerve fibers, nerve endings,
Right.
sensitivity, touch, feeling, parts of the body. I won't get into this more deeply because I am not a gynecologist or a urologist or a medical expert of any kind. I am just someone who has a body with a clitoris, and it's exciting to see that people are finally starting to talk about the need to study it, the need to teach about it in med school. I'm going to share the first article that I read was in the New York Times, and there are multiple women who talk about having gone through procedures that completely removed the sensitivity in their clitoris, and the best their doctors could offer them was like, oh, that's just post surgical or post procedural, it'll come back, you'll be fine. And it didn't come back, and they're not fine. And I mean, they may be fine, I don't know, I don't want to speak for these women, but as far as the physical adjustments that they've had to make, the changes in their body, the complete lack of sexual pleasure sensitivity that they have had to go through, because people just don't fucking know, and they don't study it, and they don't think about it as something important for a person's well-being, physically, mentally.
Yeah, I was gonna say, not to mention like the mental shit that you go through, not just like because of the damage that's been done, but the mental shit you go through with your relationship with your healthcare providers. Like
Mm,
when you have been wronged or when you've been failed in some way. And I understand that, like, I know we put a lot on our healthcare providers to provide a lot of answers to things that they perhaps shouldn't be expected
mm-hmm,
to know. I get that. But like in this case, sure, they don't have it's not in the books. Why would they know? But it's still like a process that you have to go through to trust your healthcare providers that they're giving you the
mm-hmm,
care that you deserve and need. And
mm-hmm. And you know what? For not being in the books, it's taken a really long time for someone to say it should be in the books, you know?
it's the best
Um,
body part.
right. And it points to our American Christian hypocrisy that there are people who will put down other nations and cultures. And to be clear, I am not about to support female genital mutilation. That is its own terrible thing. But in a lot of ways, this medical practice is our westernized version of that. But because it's not for religious reasons, or it's not explicitly and outwardly misogynistic in reason and explanation, people think that it is somehow better and that our culture is better than. And then meanwhile, we're going to mention abortions in every fucking episode until they're legal again. I was just listening to a podcast episode about how doctors now need lawyers and how doctors can't treat patients without first going to legal experts who are not medical experts, because every fucking state has all these bullshit laws. So just a lot of angry hypocrisy for me over here. But bright side, we are about to learn a whole lot more about the
Yay.
clitoris.
Thanks for the fun time, Jamie. Thank you, listeners, for joining us. Check the show notes for links, a transcript of this episode, or more information on Broadly Entertaining events and offerings mentioned in today's show.
The Broadly Entertaining podcast is produced and hosted by Giana and DeGeiso and Jamie Rossler of Broadly Entertaining.
I compose and perform all the theme music and segue songs, plus I handle sound mixing and audio editing.
I put together the episode outline and transcript, plus a video version for YouTube.
If you like what we do, please rate, review, and follow us in your podcast feed. Tell a friend. Word of mouth is priceless, especially for a small business like ours.
If you love what we do and want to help us keep doing it, Venmo a tip to Broadly-Entertaining, or click the support button at anchor.fm/broadlyentertaining. And of course, you can hire us to host or plan your next celebration or casual get together.
We're based in New York State, Central Texas, or anywhere you got an internet connection.
Dip you through a party.